Okay, let's look at this live example so that you get the idea behind what I want you to see. So looking at what we have here, this is our QML. As you can see, we have a high, we have a higher high, we have a low, and we have a lower low. We agree that alone qualifies this structure that we see to be a QML. So that simply means when price get to this level here, we expect to see a significant decline, okay, based on the concept that this is a QML, okay. But then at the same time, remember we spoke about mitigation and breakers, okay. So if you look at this structure of a QML, at the same time we said a QML it's always gonna be a breaker, okay. So a QML it's always gonna be a breaker. So now looking at the angle of a breaker, what we need to understand is that when price get to this lower leg here, we expect price to push down a little bit, okay. As you can see here, I've highlighted this level here, but something that I want to draw your attention to when it comes to breakers, because when it comes to a QML, we need to understand that a breaker is actually the one most of the time that is responsible for you to have an FTR, okay. So that is why when we get to talk about breaker, when we get to talk about QML, we get to say make sure that you also have an FTR, meaning it's a failure to retest, okay. Price needs to go up a little bit and fail to retest this level by pulling back a little bit down, okay. So what's gonna cause that? It's actually your breaker level, okay. So this is what we have here. We say the FTR is very important when it comes to QML because it adds a certain level of confluence. So when we see an FTR, we definitely know that price is most likely to just close this area here. So we can even use this as our first take profit, because price definitely it needs to collect all the buy side liquidity here and then come here and then gets to decline, close this gap and continue to go down, okay. So based on that idea, let me just remove this. So based on that idea, what you need to understand is that your breaker is the one that is responsible for your FTR most of the time. You're getting it? So what you can do, instead of waiting for price to get to this level of a QML, you can take advantage of what price is actually doing here, because you definitely know that somehow you need to be having an FTR. Failure to retest this level, you need to be having an FTR here. So if you look back on this side, you need to find something that you can use as a point of reference to actually go down. So in that case, it's gonna be this level of your break. But then let me highlight this first. So as you can see, I highlighted this candle and I also highlighted this candle for a reason. Although some people will put their limits here, or they will want to see price immediately decline at this level here. I agree with that. It happens most of the time, but it depends on what you have, okay. So if you get to look at this level here, you get to see something so interesting. We have a base that was previously violated. What do I mean by that? When price was coming down here, we were expecting price to respect this base, but somehow price continued to go down. So this base that we have has been violated here. So what does it mean? It simply means when the next time when price go up, when it gets to this level here, we're gonna see this previously violated base having an effect on price. We're gonna see a certain reaction, okay. So you get to see price get to this level and immediately you get to see price pull down. And if also you look at here, if you don't understand the concept of basis and on all those things, what you can do, you can just make sure that every time before this U-turn, before the U-turn of your base, just make sure that you take the last down candle prior to the up move. Just mark the body of that candle. The last down candle prior to the up move. You mark that body, and then you use that body as your supply. Okay, you use this body as your what? As your supply. So when price get to this level, you're gonna be looking forward to see price go down a little bit, and then your FTR is gonna be formed. So always have in mind the idea of a breaker, because a QML, it's also a breaker. So if you know a QML and you know a breaker, you will see different things. But if you know both, you can be able to see both at the same time and take advantage of it. Okay, so this is what is happening here. This is a QML, and at the same time it's a breaker. So we can take advantage of the breaker, because the breaker within the QML, it's responsible of our FTR. So then we get to see price push and get to this level. So we get to see that we have an MPL structure here. When we talk about MPL structures, we are simply talking about the structures that you find within a base. So you have a base, but when you switch to a smaller time frame, you're gonna find a lot of candles, a lot of structures there. So that's what we call an MPL. So you're gonna use it as a what? As a supply. And at the same time, you also have what? You also have your QML here. So just to add confluence. Let me just put this, make it straight. So you get to see that you have the level of a QML here, and also you have the level of your MPL structures, and price spike it a little bit and gets to change direction. So that's it. So you will be looking for an opportunity here. You'll be looking for an opportunity here, and also for an opportunity here. So you have FTR as a confluence, and also you have what? You have your MPL structure as a confluence. And at the same time, you have manipulation taking place. Because you get to see what we see here. If you look at here, you get to see that price did something so nice. This is a lot of price imbalance that you see here. So price will pull back a little bit, try to balance everything. So when we see price moving in compression like this is actually manipulation. It's not the real move. The real move, we are going down. That is why you get to see that price has a lot of momentum to go down here. But all of a sudden, price is coming back just to balance. And then after balancing everything, we get to see price continue to go down. So this is actually manipulation. That is why I always say, when price is approaching a significant level, you will always, most of the time, 95% of the time or 80% of the time, you will see price approaching a significant level with compression. So price is going to compress as it moves towards that significant level, because the next thing that follows compression in the market is always a shoot. So if you give yourself time, study the market, you can see that we always have compression and shoot, compression and shoot, compression and shoot. So this is what we have here. Looking at what we have, price is pushing up in a compression. So this is also another confirmation or another confluence to add. So then we get to look at something happening here. Price pulled back a little bit, didn't really get to take out this level here. We get to see that it forms equal lows here, and then price pull back a little bit. You can see what we have here. We have a lot of price imbalance. So price push back a little bit just to close that price imbalance and continue to go down. So what you're gonna be looking for, remember, as I've said before, your previously violated base, okay? Your previously violated base, that's your what? That's your supply, okay? that's your supply. In the case of demand, it's your demand. This is your supply. So you're gonna be highlighting this level as what? As your supply. Price get to this level and we get to see price going down. And if you look at here, you have your QML at this level here. You have your QML at this level here. Make sure that when you highlight your QML, you put it on the body. Because most of the time, price will just use the body of the QML and never get to the wicks, okay? So for you not to miss trades, make sure you put it on the body when you are highlighting a QML, as you can see also here. So we get to see, this is a QML. We have a high, we have a high, we have a low, we have a lower low. So this is definitely a QML. So price get back to this level. And guess what happened? Another shoot. So it's compression, compression, liquidity void, liquidity void. I hope you can see what price is doing. Even if you look at here, without even going back and looking what is happening here, if you just look at this line, I just noticed this. If you just look at here, you can see that we have a lot of price imbalance here. Price needs to come and close everything, and it closes it, pull back, just like that. So pay attention to the things that matters the most. So you get to see the moment when price was pulling up from this level. One of the reasons why I highlighted this is because these are equal highs, and we believe that price needs to come back and take out everything. So the moment we see price pushing up back, what we will be targeting is actually these equal highs, because we definitely know price will come and take out all this sell side liquidity that is resting here. So remember, a QML will always have a breaker structure within it. Okay guys, these are what's supposed to be in the first video, but something happened and then I was cut off. So I will just split the videos. So this is what we have. As I was talking, you get to see that we have a QML here. Okay, these are QML at this level here. We get to see price get to this level, and we get to see price going down. Okay, so but then if you look at this level here, remember what I said, a QML structure, it's always having a breaker structure. Okay, so this is what we expect price to get to. So you get to see that we have a breaker structure, price get to this breaker structure, and then it pulls down a little bit. And to be honest, based on the reasons or based on what we discussed, I wouldn't be looking for a trade at this level. I will be looking for a trade at this level, based on the idea that we have a previously violated base. Okay, so you get to see our price just violated it instead of just respecting it a little bit and pulled back. Price just went like there is nothing. So based on that concept, I will be waiting for price to actually pull up a little bit instead of making a trade here. Someone will have an argument and say, yeah, but you can see price went down a little bit. It happens. Sometimes price will do that. But I prefer to wait for this, because most of the time price will just take out everything and get to this level, and then you get to see a significant decline. So as you can see here, something like that happened. And then something so interesting that took place after that, we get to see something happening. A break in market structure, which indicates that now the market is bearish. So imagine you are waiting for price to get to your QML. You are not looking forward to take a trade here. Price will just go down like this, and you will be waiting the whole time for price to get back to your QML. That's a lot of time to wait. So but then we get to see price getting to this level of a QML, and when price gets to this level of a QML, guess what? It went down a little bit, pulled back a little bit, and continue to go down. And when we see price taking out this resting liquidity here on this previous low that we see here, when we see price breaking this low here, we definitely know that now there is a break in market structure, which simply means there is a shift in market structure. What you see here, it was a bullish trend, but the moment we see this happening, it's now a bearish trend that we are looking forward to. Okay, so for an example, look at here what is happening. Price is going up, is taking out what? Previous highs. Okay, as price is going up, previous highs are being taken out, previous highs are being taken out. And if you get to look at this, you get to see that our previous lows stay intact, previous lows stay intact, previous lows stay intact. They are not being violated, they stay intact. Okay, but all of a sudden price get to this level. This is the high. It gets to this level, form a high, pull back a little bit, and then after that we see a retracement going up. But eventually price is failing to now take what? Take out this high. So we definitely know that something is fishy here. Price is now failing to take out previous highs. All this time when we were in an uptrend, price was taking out all these previous highs. So all of a sudden price is failing. So now it needs to click in your mind that we are most likely to expect a bearish trend. Okay, so we wait, we get to see price going down a little bit, and as price go down, we get to see a break in market structure, which is another second confirmation that indeed we are going down. So right now what I'm waiting for is actually for price up to pull back a little bit, because if you look at this, it's also a mitigation block. If you look at this level here, it's a mitigation block. So right now I'm just waiting for price to get to this level here, and then we get to see price decline. So that's what I'm waiting for. So but then what I'm trying to show you is, since you made your entry here and then you get to see price pull back a little bit, and then as price pull back, what you're gonna be looking for you to decide whether to close that trade or to hold that trade. Just wait to see what price is doing. If price gets to break this level here, we might see price continue to go up. But if price fail to break this level here, it simply means one thing: price is going down. So guess what happened? Price took out this previous low, and then we get to see price going down. And this is one of the reasons when I talk about supply and demand, I always say in an uptrend, make sure that you are looking for demand zones, and in a downtrend, make sure that you are looking for supply zones. Don't look for supply zones in an uptrend, because price is taking out previous highs. You are most likely to enter into a failing trade. So I believe if you can look at QML, combine it with the concept of breaking market structure, you can be profitable. So that's it for me. I believe this has actually helped someone, or it's gonna help someone. So without any waste of time, shalom.